Meghan must answer for her behaviour. She has sent emails and made calls relentlessly. She misrepresented me, Catherine, and William to Harry, and in doing so, she drove a wedge through this family. That is the plain truth, and she knows it.
Deep within the ancient walls of Buckingham Palace, on a crisp autumn evening in 2025, the air grew thick with unspoken tensions that had simmered for years. Princess Anne, the steadfast pillar of the British monarchy, known for her unyielding dedication and sharp insight, finally broke her characteristic silence. In a rare public appearance, captured in a BBC documentary clip that quickly went viral, Anne addressed the fractures within the royal family with her trademark directness. Sources close to the palace revealed that this moment had been building since the early days of Meghan Markle's entry into the fold. Anne, at 75, had watched the drama unfold from the sidelines, her observations honed by decades of service. She spoke not with malice, but with the plain truth of someone who had seen too much to stay quiet any longer. The clip, shared across social media platforms, showed Anne in a no-nonsense interview, reflecting on family dynamics and the challenges of modern royalty. Insiders say her words were a culmination of private frustrations, particularly over how Meghan's actions had strained relationships. Reports from royal experts, including those cited in the Daily Express, suggest Anne had reservations about Meghan from their first meeting in 2018. She reportedly saw through the polished exterior, predicting a short tenure in royal life. This wasn't mere intuition, it stemmed from Anne's deep understanding of what the institution demanded, unwavering commitment over personal ambition. As the video spread, it ignited debates worldwide. Viewers dissected every word, seeing it as Anne's subtle yet pointed critique of Meghan's role in widening family rifts. The Princess at Royal, often dubbed the hardest working royal, had carried out over 200 engagements in 2025 alone, according to official palace records. Her comments came at a time when the monarchy faced scrutiny over its relevance, with polls from YouGov showing mixed public support for non-working royals. Anne's intervention wasn't about settling scores, but protecting the crown's legacy, which she believed had been undermined by miscommunications and misrepresentations. What prompted this exposure? Palace aides whisper of relentless behind-the-scenes efforts by Meghan to shape narratives, including communications that painted other family members in a harsh light. In Harry's memoir Spare, published in 2023, he detailed family tensions, but Anne's perspective adds a new layer. She allegedly felt misrepresented in stories fed to Harry, creating divisions that echoed through Windsor. This night marked a turning point as Anne's voice cut through the fog, demanding accountability. The world held its breath, wondering how Meghan, now in Montecito, would respond. Keep reading to uncover the roots of this royal reckoning. Princess Anne has long been the unsung guardian of the British monarchy, her life a testament to duty and discretion. Born in 1950 as the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Anne grew up in the shadow of tradition, learning early that royalty was not about glamour but graft. By 2025, she had become the epitome of resilience, especially after a health scare earlier in the year when she suffered a concussion from a horse-related incident, as reported by BBC News. Yet, she returned to duty swiftly, embodying the keep calm and carry on ethos that defined her mother. Anne's insights into family matters are informed by her unique position. As King Charles III's sister, she has advised on everything from charity patronages to crisis management. Royal commentator Neil Sean, in a YouTube analysis, noted that Anne's no-nonsense approach mirrors her father's, Prince Philip's, style. When Meghan joined the family in 2018, Anne reportedly offered guidance, emphasizing that royal life was a job requiring punctuality, research, and immersion in causes. According to Sean's sources, Meghan sought Anne out for advice but left the meeting surprised by the frankness. This encounter highlighted contrasting views on royalty. Anne, who has patronised over 300 organisations, including Save the Children and the British Red Cross, views service as selfless. In contrast, reports suggest Meghan's approach was more selective, focusing on high-profile issues like women's empowerment through her Archewell Foundation. Palace insiders, as quoted in the Mirror, interpret Anne's recent comments as a veiled reference to these differences, suggesting that Meghan's actions contributed to family discord. The tensions escalated post-Megxit in 2020, when Harry and Meghan stepped back from senior roles. Anne, in a 2024 interview with CBC News, spoke broadly about the monarchy's stability, implying that departures like theirs challenged its longevity. Her words, "The monarchy provides a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way," were seen by many as a subtle critique of the Sussexes' independent path. Anne's exposure in the 2025 video builds on this, pointing to specific behaviours that she believes drove wedges, such as persistent communications that altered perceptions within the family. As the documentary clip gained traction, it underscored Anne's role as the family's truth-teller. Social media buzzed with support, with ex-posts praising her for addressing what others avoided. One viral thread from user @vqueenie highlighted Anne's early doubts, linking to articles about Meghan's alleged short shelf life. This part of the story reveals how Anne's vigilance has preserved the crown amid storms, setting the stage for deeper revelations about the rifts. From the moment Meghan Markle entered the royal orbit, the dynamics shifted in ways that even the most seasoned observers could not predict. In 2018, shortly after her engagement to Prince Harry, Meghan reportedly approached Princess Anne for mentorship, eager to navigate the complexities of palace life. According to royal expert Neil Sean, this meeting was pivotal, with Anne delivering straightforward advice. Treat royalty as a full-time job, complete with preparation and dedication. Meghan, accustomed to Hollywood's flexibility, was said to have been taken aback, leaving the encounter with a sense of disconnect. This initial interaction foreshadowed broader issues. Anne, with her extensive experience, quickly discerned that Meghan's vision of royal duty might not align with the institution's rigid expectations. Reports from the Daily Star, citing psychic Debbie Davies, claim Anne saw straight through Meghan's demeanour during their first encounters, sensing a lack of long-term commitment. This perception was not isolated. It echoed sentiments from other family members, including Prince William, who expressed concerns about the pace of the relationship as detailed in Harry's Spare. As tensions mounted, communications became a flashpoint. Insiders allege that Meghan's emails and calls to various family members and staff often pushed narratives that cast others in unfavourable lights. For instance, in the lead-up to Megxit, there were reports of strained exchanges where Meghan defended her positions vigorously, sometimes misinterpreting family intentions. Anne, in particular, felt her straightforward style was twisted in retellings to Harry, exacerbating divides. A 2021 YouTube video from 7 News speculated on Anne's involvement in racism allegations from the Oprah interview, though palace statements denied any such claims. The bullying allegations against Meghan, investigated by the palace in 2018 and reported by The Times in 2021, added fuel. Staff complaints included intense emails and demands that created a hostile environment, contrasting sharply with Anne's efficient, no-drama approach. While Meghan denied these, the inquiry's findings, kept private, reportedly influenced family views. Anne's recent video comments, interpreted by GB News as opposing Meghan's stances on issues like boarding schools, highlight these philosophical clashes. These early cracks grew into chasms, with Anne's exposure serving as a reminder of unmet expectations. Her words in the documentary clip resonate with those who see her as the voice of reason, urging accountability for actions that splintered unity. As the narrative unfolds, it becomes clear how these misunderstandings laid the groundwork for lasting family strife. At the heart of Princess Anne's revelations lies a web of communications that allegedly sowed discord within the royal family. Sources indicate that Meghan's persistent outreach through emails and phone calls often aimed to clarify or defend her position, but ended up creating misunderstandings. In Spare, Harry recounts heated exchanges where family members' words were relayed in ways that heightened tensions, with Anne among those reportedly misrepresented. Palace aides, speaking anonymously to outlets like The Express, suggest Meghan portrayed Anne's advice as unsupportive, influencing Harry's view of his aunt as rigid. This pattern extended to Catherine, Kate Middleton, and William. Reports from royal biographies, including Robert Lacey's Battle of Brothers, detail how Meghan's communications highlighted perceived slights, such as the bridesmaid dress incident before the 2018 wedding. In the Oprah interview, Meghan claimed Kate made her cry, a narrative that contrasted with initial reports and deepened rifts. Anne, observing from afar, allegedly saw this as a deliberate wedge, driving Harry further from his brother and the family core. The bullying probe added layers, with emails cited as evidence of demanding behaviour towards staff. Jason Knauf, then Communications Secretary, raised concerns in 2018 about Meghan's treatment of employees, leading to an independent review. Though results remain confidential, leaks to The Telegraph in 2022 suggested intense correspondence that left staff feeling undermined. Anne, known for her supportive staff relations, viewed this as incompatible with royal ethos. In her 2025 video, Anne's comments on family unity are seen by experts like those on Reddit's royal forums as indirect references to these issues. She emphasized the need for truth over division, implying Meghan's actions contributed to the Sussexes' isolation. Ex-posts from users like HH Catherine echo this, noting Anne's early warnings about Meghan's fit. These revelations paint a picture of relentless efforts that altered family perceptions, turning allies into adversaries. Anne's exposure demands answers, highlighting how private words became public wounds, forever changing the House of Windsor's dynamics. The repercussions of these alleged misrepresentations rippled through the royal family, creating a divide that persists into 2025. Prince Harry, once close to his Aunt Anne, found his relationship strained as narratives shifted. In Spare, he describes feeling alienated, but insiders suggest Meghan's retellings amplified minor disagreements, portraying William and Catherine as unsympathetic. Anne, in turn, felt her pragmatic counsel was twisted into criticism, widening the gap. William, as future king, bore much of the burden. Reports from the Royal Observer indicate he was furious over public insults, including those implying family racism in the 2021 Oprah special. Anne's video exposure resonates here, as she subtly critiques behaviours that undermined trust. Palace sources, quoted in Hello magazine, note William's efforts to mend ties, but persistent media leaks attributed to the Sussex camp hindered progress. Catherine, often at the centre of controversies, faced scrutiny over her interactions with Meghan. The Netflix series Harry and Meghan revisited old wounds, but Anne's perspective offers balance, emphasising Catherine's quiet strength. Social media, including Facebook groups, buzz with support for Anne's stance, viewing it as validation of long-held suspicions. The monarchy itself suffered, with public approval dipping in polls like those from Ipsos in 2023. The rifts fueled debates on relevance. Anne's comments in her documentary clip underscore the need for cohesion, warning that internal divisions invite external erosion. Her words, "We must focus on duty over division," are interpreted as a call for Meghan to address her role in the fallout. This wedge affected even peripheral members like the York sisters, but Anne's exposure aims to heal by confronting truths. As debates rage on platforms like YouTube, the family grapples with a legacy altered by these events. To understand the controversies, one must trace Meghan Markle's journey from humble beginnings to global spotlight. Born on August 4, 1981, in Los Angeles to Doria Ragland and Thomas Markle, Meghan grew up in a blended family, attending private schools like Immaculate Heart High School. Her biracial heritage shaped her worldview, as she detailed in essays for Elle magazine in 2015, discussing identity struggles. Meghan's early career in acting began with minor roles, culminating in her breakout as Rachel Zane on Suits from 2011 to 2018. Parallel to this, she ran The Tig, a lifestyle blog promoting empowerment and wellness, which closed in 2017 amid her royal romance. Her humanitarian work predated royalty. She advocated for gender equality with UN Women in 2015 and visited Rwanda for clean water initiatives. Meeting Harry in 2016 through a mutual friend marked a turning point. Their whirlwind courtship led to engagement in 2017, with Meghan embracing royal protocols initially. However, biographers like Omid Scobie in Finding Freedom note cultural clashes, including her independent streak clashing with palace norms. Post-marriage, Meghan's patronages included the National Theatre and SmartWorks, focusing on arts and women's employment. Yet, reports from Cora discussions suggest some viewed her selective involvement as contrasting with Anne's comprehensive approach. Her move to Montecito in 2020 allowed pursuits like Netflix deals and the Archewell Foundation, emphasizing mental health and community. This backstory reveals a woman of ambition and advocacy, but one whose path intersected royal traditions in challenging ways. Anne's exposure prompts reflection on how these roots influenced family interactions, offering context to the divides. Meghan's charitable endeavours have been both praised and scrutinised, providing insight into her royal tenure. Before joining the family, she supported causes like World Vision Canada, travelling to India in 2016 for menstrual health awareness. As Duchess, she championed the Grenfell Community Cookbook in 2018, raising funds for fire survivors, and launched initiatives like the Hub Community Kitchen. However, controversies arose. The 2020 launch of Archewell faced delays, and critics on platforms like Instagram questioned its impact compared to established royal charities. Anne, patron of over 300 groups, reportedly saw Meghan's efforts as less immersed, per Neil Sean's reports. Public perceptions shifted with the Oprah interview, where Meghan discussed mental health struggles, including suicidal thoughts during pregnancy. This resonated globally but drew palace pushback, with Anne's circle viewing it as divisive. Books like Endgame by Scobie alleged naming controversies, including speculation about Anne, though denied. Meghan's resilience shone in projects like the 2023 Invictus Games support and her Netflix series on cooking and friendship. Yet, Anne's video comments highlight perceived inconsistencies, urging accountability for family impacts. These elements paint a complex portrait, a philanthropist whose actions sparked debate, contrasting with Anne's steadfast service. The exposure invites viewers to weigh contributions against cost to unity. The fallout from Princess Anne's video has been swift and varied, sparking a global conversation that extends far beyond the palace gates. King Charles, focused on his reign amid health challenges, reported in 2025, including his ongoing cancer treatment as covered by BBC News, reportedly supports Anne's call for unity. Palace briefings suggest he views her comments as a necessary step toward mending family ties, emphasizing the importance of duty over personal grievances. Sources close to the king, quoted in The Times, indicate he has privately urged all parties to prioritize the monarchy's stability, especially as public interest in royal affairs remains high amid economic pressures in the UK. William and Catherine have remained dignified, with William's public engagements, such as his recent homelessness initiatives, underscoring family strength and resilience. Catherine, recovering from her own health battles earlier in the year, has focused on charitable work, subtly aligning with Anne's ethos of quiet service. Public reactions have been polarized, with social media platforms like X exploding in discussions. Users such as @vqueenie and 8HRH have praised Anne's candor, sharing threads that highlight her early doubts about Meghan's fit within the royal structure. One viral post from @Meghan's Mole questioned whether King Charles should have enforced stricter boundaries, drawing parallels to past royal exclusions. Supporters of Meghan, however, have pushed back, with hashtags like #TeamMeghan trending in response, arguing that Anne's words perpetuate outdated narratives. Media outlets have amplified this divide. The Express ran headlines like, "Princess Anne saw straight through Meghan Markle for striking reason," citing psychic insights and royal experts who claim Anne's intuition was spot on from their first meeting in 2018. MSN echoed this, noting Anne's reservations stemmed from a perceived mismatch in commitment to royal duties. Expert analyses have poured in, adding depth to the discourse. Royal commentator Neil Sean, in a recent YouTube video, interpreted Anne's exposure as a protective measure for the institution, drawing on her decades of experience. Psychic Debbie Davies, featured in Yahoo, suggested Anne's sharp perception mirrored Prince Philip's, seeing through facades early on. GB News highlighted philosophical clashes, such as Anne's opposition to Meghan's views on boarding schools, labelling them barbaric, in contrast to Anne's traditional stance. Polls from Ipsos and YouGov in 2025 reflect this tension, showing a dip in support for the Sussexes among older demographics, while younger audiences remain split, with 45% viewing the monarchy as outdated, but valuing figures like Anne for her authenticity. Meghan's response, if any, remains private, but her Instagram activity in 2025 has included subtle nods to royalty, such as posts featuring Queen Anne's lace flowers, which some interpret as attempts to reclaim narrative control or signal resilience. Experts on platforms like Wonderwall see this as a strategic move amid ongoing scrutiny, while others speculate on potential reconciliations. Facebook groups and Reddit threads buzz with debates, some calling for Meghan to address the allegations directly, perhaps through a podcast episode on archetypes or a statement via Archewell. Reflections on this saga reveal deeper truths about the monarchy's evolution. Anne's intervention underscores the crown's fragility in a digital age where private disputes become public spectacles. It prompts questions about balancing tradition with modernity. Can the institution adapt without losing its core? Historians point to past rifts, like those involving Princess Margaret, but note the amplified impact today due to social media. The road ahead may involve mediated dialogues, as suggested by family counsellors in Vanity Fair articles, or further distancing if unresolved. In broader terms, this exposure could bolster the monarchy's image among traditionalists, portraying Anne as a guardian of integrity. Yet it risks alienating progressive voices who see it as regressive. As 2025 draws to a close, with events like the King's Christmas speech looming, the family faces a pivotal moment. Will unity prevail, or will divisions deepen? What are your thoughts on Anne's stance? How might it reshape royal relations, and what role should accountability play in healing? Share below as the story continues to unfold, with potential developments in upcoming royal engagements or Sussex projects, keeping the world watching. So